million Americans on alert. The South slammed overnight. This twister tearing through Mississippi. Dangerous downpours flooding roads and affecting the crowd at this baseball game. Car windshields shattered by huge hail. Now the new warnings as another dangerous storm moves in.
Also new this morning, President Trump preparing to unveil a major executive order just hours from now to roll back President Obama's environmental agenda as the top Republican congressman leading the Russia investigation faces new calls now to step aside after that secret meeting at the White House is revealed. The president going on a Twitter tirade overnight, taking aim at the investigation and conservatives who derailed his health care bill. And breaking news, undercover ambush. 2 police officers attacked in their car overnight, shot on the job outside a Florida apartment and rushed to the hospital. The urgent manhunt for the suspects this morning.
And Tom Brady bombshell. Patriots owner Robert Kraft revealing his star quarterback isn't going anywhere anytime soon.
He assured me he'd be willing to play 6-7 more years.
The Super Bowl star on the verge of turning 40. Could he become the oldest and greatest NFL star ever?
Live in Times Square, this is GMA with Robin Roberts, George Stephanopoulos, and Michael Strahan.
Good morning, America. A lot of news to get to, but it's great to have David Muir for another 6-7 years, at least. At least, David.
That'll make me about 47, 48, just like Tom Brady. Right. I'll be a little older than that, actually. But check out, not only are fans excited about this Tom Brady news, although no word from Tom Brady yet, but Patriots owner Bob Kraft saying, quote, "There's no one that would be happier than I." He's also banking on Coach Belichick to stick around. He's hoping he coaches into his 80s.
Hey, good luck with that. But as they both have shown, don't count them out.
That's right.
Right? Anything is possible. And we're going to have more on that ahead. But first, we want to get to that severe weather that's hitting the South. There were more than 160 storm reports as powerful winds and damaging rain moved through several states. And Ginger Z has the latest. Good morning, Ginger.
Hey, good morning to you, Michael. They're going to be so busy looking at all of the potential tornado damage today. In Guntersville, Alabama, you can see that blowing wind, the dangerous hail that was smashing windshields in Mississippi, and this flipping cars in Tennessee. So this is what we saw as of yesterday. Now we're going to go ahead and focus on a new storm that is putting itself together in the plains, coming over the Rockies. It's got a cold front, dry line, all the classic setup for a severe weather potential, and that really happens tonight in this region, southwest of Oklahoma City, into parts of North Texas, down to San Angelo, and then moves east. This is day after day of severe weather threat. It goes into the Little Rock area. Shreveport's in it by Wednesday. So much more to come with the severe weather forecast, but we have to get straight to Adrian Bankert, who is in Decaturville, Tennessee this morning.
Yes, Ginger, good morning to you. We want to show you what a possible tornado or those strong straight line winds can do. This building behind us shredded, the walls and roof ripped apart. Officials say this system was so strong, a number of mobile homes pretty much imploded. Overnight, 15 million Americans in the crosshairs. Severe storm systems ripping across the South. Tornado warning sirens blaring with funnel clouds forming across western Kentucky. Drivers struggling to see the roads through the torrential rains. High winds destroying this large brick sign and turning trees to trash on busy roads. In Mississippi, dangerous twisters tearing through the area. This ominous funnel cloud spotted right off this highway. This heavy hailstorm in Alabama forcing everyone indoors.
This is creepy. I have never seen this in the 11 years we've lived here.
For those on the road, visibility is reduced to near whiteout conditions and high winds and heavy rains interrupting this baseball game in north central Alabama. Golf ball-sized hailstones pelting swimming pools from Mississippi and Alabama to Texas, where larger, more dangerous baseball-sized ones shatter this car windshield. And you know what? Just like this building that was shredded, we know that several homes have been damaged here in Decaturville, some severely. The good news is that no one has been reported injured, but this part of the country really under the bullseye that Ginger's been talking about, with another strong system set to roll through. Robin?
Thank you, Adrian. Thinking of everyone down that way. Now to that big headline out of Washington about Russia and the election. There are new calls for the Republican congressman who's leading the investigation, Devin Nunes, to step aside after he confirmed he held a secret meeting on White House grounds. ABC's senior White House correspondent Cecilia Vega has more on that. Good morning, Cecilia.
Robin, good morning to you. And those calls for Devin Nunes to step down are growing louder. Democrats say he has tarnished Congress's investigation into Russia's election meddling. But the president, he's tweeting saying the Trump-Russia story is a hoax. Overnight, the top Republican leading what is supposed to be an independent investigation into Russia's election meddling going into self-defense mode.
There was no sneaking around.
Congressman Devin Nunes facing questions about impartiality. The House Intelligence Committee chairman says his trove of classified information allegedly showing intelligence officials may have inadvertently picked up the communications of the president and his transition team was actually given to him by someone on the White House grounds.
I'm not going to tell you where I was at on the grounds because, of course, those are all classified facilities.
Nunes, a member of the president's transition team, is not naming names.
Look, I'm not going to get into the process of how we do our work, sources and methods.
That secret meeting happened last week, just hours before Nunes briefed reporters on Capitol Hill about his findings, and then rushed to the White House to brief the president. The White House also not willing to out Nunes' source.
I'm not going to get into who he met with or why he met with them. I think that's something that he has been very clear, and I'll let him answer.
The backlash swift, with Democrats calling on the chairman to step aside.
Mr. President, it could very well be the case that Chairman Nunes was briefing members of the administration about an investigation of which they are the subject.
The top Democrat on the House Intelligence Committee adding to the chorus.
I think it would be in the chairman's interest as well as the committee's for him to recuse himself.
Now, Nunes says that he had to leave Congress to view these documents here on the White House grounds because they could only be shown to him on a secure network connected to the executive branch. He still has not made the content of those documents known, Robin, even to others in Congress involved in that investigation into Russia.
And they want to know. Also, Cecilia, you would know that the president is set to sign another executive order today.
Yeah, and this is a really controversial one, Robin, that would roll back basically a number of President Obama's climate change regulations. The White House says that those rules have been a burden to the economy. They are promising to bring back coal jobs through rolling back some of these regulations. But, Robin, a number of experts are questioning whether the president can really fulfill that promise and bring back all of these jobs.
All right, Cecilia, thank you.
It's going to make a lot of headlines today, Robin. All right, let's turn to our chief White House correspondent, Jonathan Carr, with more this morning, because as Cecilia mentioned, John, the president was up overnight with a tweet storm, and he's clearly not over the stinging defeat of his promise to repeal and replace Obamacare. Still pointing fingers this morning?
Absolutely, David. At about 10 o'clock last night, the tweets started on health care. The first one taking aim at the Republicans who defied him on the health care bill. The Republican House Freedom Caucus was able to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. After so many bad years, they were ready for a win. And then hinting that he is ready to work with Democrats. In the next tweet, the Democrats will make a deal with me on health care as soon as Obamacare folds. Not long, don't worry, we are in very good shape. So, David, the not so subtle threat here to the Republicans who defied him is that he is ready to go right by them and start working with at least some Democrats.
But, John, as you know, it's interesting he brings up the Democrats because you pressed the White House about whether that can really happen. Will President Trump and some Democrats really be able to work together on taxes, infrastructure, or do Democrats sense an opening here given the defeat over Obamacare?
Well, I pressed Sean Spicer on that yesterday in a very interesting response, David. He basically told me that there would be a need of a course correction here at the White House, a very rare admission from the White House that they would have to change course if they were to actually be able to work with Democrats. Of course, the president has gotten to calling Chuck Schumer, the top Democrat in the Senate, a clown, and he has worked almost entirely with Republicans so far, so this would be a big change. One idea that was floated this morning by the online publication Axios, reporting that the White House may consider doing infrastructure next, a big spending bill that would be likely to bring along some Democrats and make a lot of Republicans very uncomfortable.
All right, John Carl will be watching it all day at the White House there. John, thanks so much. Robin.
And David, Wall Street also reacting to what's going on in Washington, the failure of the Republican health care bill. The stock's now riding an 8-day losing streak. Our chief economics correspondent, Rebecca Jarvis, is here with more on that. Good morning, Rebecca.
Hey, Robin, good morning. And this is the longest losing streak since 2011. You see here that 8-day losing streak has cost the Dow 1.9%. But we want to put this into context. Since Election Day, the Dow has now surged 12% on expectations President Trump's agenda, deregulation, lower taxes, and infrastructure spending will help business. But pulling repeal and replace of Obamacare was a first major test, and it failed, which has some investors now on edge, now wondering, can the president actually deliver on his promises? And Robin, about the prospects for tax reform.
But are we seeing something overnight with the overnight markets that is encouraging about today?
It is encouraging. Stocks look like they're going to be taking a breather today as Wall Street really tries to get a sense of what happens next, Robin.
All right, Rebecca, thank you.
Now we're going to turn to the battle against ISIS. Robin, an American-led airstrikes in Mosul, and this morning those accusations that the airstrikes may have killed hundreds of Iraqi civilians in Mosul. If confirmed, this could be one of the deadliest instances of unintended civilian deaths since the war began, when the U.S. became involved in Iraq. So let's get right to our chief global affairs correspondent, Martha Raddatz. She's live with us from Washington. Martha, what do we know, first of all, about what happened, and has there been any shift in tactics under the new president?
David, this was not just one building that was hit, but witnesses say a city block was destroyed. I think the thing to remember is this is an urban environment. There is no more challenging battlefield than that. Some Iraqi officers say the U.S. has been quicker to strike targets of late, but the military says the rules of engagement have not changed since Donald Trump became president. And what they're looking at is whether there was a secondary explosion caused by explosives left there purposefully by ISIS, or whether this was just a terrible mistake, David.
And Martha, as you know, we were all waiting for Secretary of Defense James Mattis to weigh in on this, and he was asked about those civilian deaths.
He was, David. He said there is no military force in the world more sensitive to civilian casualties, that they do everything humanly possible to protect innocent people, unlike ISIS. But Mattis knows firsthand, having fought in Fallujah, which was also a packed urban environment, that the enemy can hide behind women and children and innocent lives can be lost, which is why they're investigating to find the truth in this case, David.
All right, Martha Raddatz with us this morning from Washington. Thanks, Martha. Over to Robin.
And David, we're going to turn now to a foil plot at a Maryland high school. An 18-year-old student facing charges for planning a potentially deadly attack after her father uncovered the plot in her diary. Our senior justice correspondent, Pierre Thomas, has the details for us. Good morning, Pierre.
Good morning, Robin. Today, this high school and small town are relieved that a potential disaster has been averted, and the parents of the suspect are being hailed as heroes.
The plot, police say, a potential school massacre involving these weapons: a shotgun, explosives, pipe for a pipe bomb, all allegedly planned by an 18-year-old honor student, Nicole Savario, who apparently detailed it in a chilling diary.
It was also clear in her diary that she planned to die during this event. It was very clear to us she had the means, the materials to cause significant damage to herself, to the student body, to the facility up there at Catoctin High School.
Maryland police say Savario's diary chronicles that she'd been planning for months to execute the attack just a few days from now on April 5th. But they say her parents discovered the diary and her father contacted authorities.
You're a parent. Can you put yourself in their shoes of having to make a decision like that about their own daughter?
They most likely saved their daughter's life as well as other lives within the student body.
Police say Savario specifically mentioned Columbine in her diary. It's part of a disturbing trend. An ABC News investigation found that in the last 17 years, there have been at least 79 thwarted school massacre plots, and in more than half of them, the would-be attackers mentioned Columbine.
Women being involved in these kinds of plots is somewhat rare. Of the 160 active shooter scenarios we looked at, only 6 involved females. In this case, the young suspect is undergoing an emergency mental health evaluation. Robin?
That's to be expected. All right, Pierre, thank you very much. And thank goodness for that father stepping in like that. Now, Amy has morning's other top stories, starting with 2 officers that were shot in Florida.
That's right, guys, and we have some dramatic video showing that moment when 2 undercover Miami police officers were rushed to the hospital after being shot during a gang surveillance operation. They were dropped off in a pickup truck and were able to limp into the hospital. Thankfully, they are in stable condition, and police are searching for those 2 suspects. A deadly fire in Oakland is raising new questions about building inspections. 3 people were killed when this transitional housing facility went up in flames on Monday. Code violations were found in the building just last week. This comes just months after 36 people died in a warehouse fire in that same city. Well, the state of Michigan has agreed to spend $87 million to replace thousands of pipes in Flint that are tainted with lead. It's part of a deal to settle a federal lawsuit. And overseas, new security procedures are in place at Windsor Castle following the attack outside British Parliament last week. Barriers have been set up along the route of the changing of the guard ceremony. The mother of the London attacker says she is shocked and saddened by her son's actions. And finally, for some college kids, an 8 a.m. class is optional after a late night of partying, right? But not for one guy, Luke May. He was, of course, the hero of UNC's win Sunday night, sending them to the Final Four. Look at that with that shot. No doubt, plenty of celebrating that followed that. But just 12 hours later at 8 a.m. on Monday, Luke shows up for his Business 101 class, and you see it there. He got a standing ovation. He has not missed one class yet. An all-around awesome guy.
He may miss Monday's class, though, because that would be the championship game.
They're hoping.
He's hoping
he shows up for that.
Yeah.
But he has some questions.
Go ahead. Women's Final Four is now set too. South Carolina, like the men, going on to the Final Four, and UConn, the defending champs. That winning streak keeps going. They're going to Dallas as well.
Where's that bell?
I am wearing Mississippi State maroon. I will bring back the bell on Thursday.
All right. We're looking forward to it. It's good to see athletes doing it on the court and off the court as well.
That's true.
And but you know what? Now we're going to go to Las Vegas. The Las Vegas Raiders, everybody. Yeah, I said it right. You heard it right. The Oakland Raiders have received permission from the NFL to move to Sin City, but they aren't packing their bags just yet. TJ Holmes, you have more. What's up?
Oakland, the city of Oakland refused to give taxpayer money to build a new stadium for the Raiders. So you know what happened? Vegas stepped in and said, hey, we got cash, and they put $750 million in chips in the middle of the table. Oakland couldn't call, couldn't raise, and had to fold.
Viva Las Vegas, an entertainment mecca, home to world-famous casinos, tigers, even Britney Spears. And now the city is getting a pro football team. Monday, the NFL gave the green light to the Oakland Raiders to move to Sin City. For years, the NFL was concerned that putting players and referees too close to a betting culture of the gambling capital would corrupt the game. That opinion appears to be fading.
Still a surprise because the NFL had always kind of publicly been against gambling.
The main reason for the move? An outdated stadium. The Raiders wanted a new one, but Oakland officials said they wouldn't use taxpayer money to build it.
We work very hard and never want to see a relocation of a franchise.
Las Vegas made them an offer they couldn't refuse, promising $750 million from a tourist tax to build a new $2 billion stadium. Oakland and the Raiders have had a very rocky relationship. The team left Oakland in 1982, came back in 1995, and now they're leaving again.
One thing money cannot buy is a loyal fan base.
But for the football fans of Las Vegas, nothing but excitement.
I still can't believe where I'm actually getting my team here in my backyard.
And to your point, Stray, they're not going for another 2 years. So they're going to keep playing in Oakland. So it's like getting a divorce and still have to live in the house with your ex for 2 years. It ain't going to work.
I have no comment on that.
That's right.
Let's go back to Ginger now. Rainy day here in the Northeast, Jen.
Yes, it is a rainy day, but I've had so many people say, you know, my app says it's going to rain all week. It's not going to rain all week. That doesn't happen. But what I did want to show you was that low ceiling in New York City. You can see it from Brooklyn there. And we've, of course, got to get to that Tuesday trivia brought to you by Sprint.
Hi, I'm Paul. I switched to Sprint because all networks are great. We're talking within a 1% difference in reliability of each other. With Sprint's unlimited plan and my amazing iPhone 7, I've got all the data I need to learn the things I want to do. Fourth video today. Good thing I don't have to worry about overages.
Get unlimited data, talk, and text. Plus, HD video and 10 gigabytes of mobile hotspot. $22.50 per month for 4 lines. And now, the offer everyone's been waiting for. Get iPhone 7 on us.
Today will be warm, almost humid. We've got morning rain coming through, even some isolated thunderstorms, especially 9 a.m. until noon. And then the possibility some afternoon storms too until 7 p.m. Those could be strong, possibly severe, bringing high winds to the area, winds over 50 miles per hour, and even some small hail, a possibility today. As the threat ends, we'll be cooler by tomorrow midweek. And look at Friday, a drenching rain with highs in the mid to upper 50s across the area.
Coming up, we have an ABC News exclusive. The family of that filmmaker who died diving with sharks now speaking out.
Also, the outrage growing over this video shot by